What is going on, GBA Universe? My name is Brandon from Your Average Noob Gaming, and I am your host of the GBA D-League Waiver Wire show. Now, what we're going to do here each week is take a Pokemon who's sitting on the waiver wire and analyze that Pokemon and see where we could slot them in on one of the D-League teams. So if the Pokemon of the week was Furret and we thought we could replace Hardy's Butterfree with it, then we'd analyze Furret and see how that would work out. So that's just an example. Now to note, we're going to be keeping these Pokemon in the same tiers. So if a Pokemon we're talking about is an RU, we would have to replace it with a Pokemon in RU as well. So the Pokemon I want to bring to your attention today is no other than the Water Steel Sinnoh starter, Empoleon. Now, taking a look at Empoleon's stats, it's got 84 HP, 86 attack, 88 defense, 111 special attack, 101 special defense, and 60 speed. So as you can see, the special defense and special attack are the main draws of this Pokemon's stat values. But also looking at that attack and defense stat, they're not absolutely terrible. We might be able to try and take advantage of those in some of the sets we show in Pokemon Showdown a little later. Now, I know the question everybody's asking themselves right now is, well, where would you stick Empoleon in the GBA D-League? Well, the answer for that, I took a long look at all of the teams, and the answer I came up with was the New York Shelmets in place of Toxicroak. Now, some of the reasons I would want to put Empoleon on the New York Shelmets. Well, for one, it also has access to Rain Dance, as Toxicroak does, and Manaphy's on this team. Manaphy, Tail Glow, Rain Dance, enough said. It benefits from rain. It gets Water Stab in the rain. It's also a Defogger. The Shelmets only have one Defogger right now, and that's Latios. So another Defogger never hurts, because if that Latios goes down in a battle, that's it. The rocks are staying up for good. It gets Steel Stab for Fairy coverage and Flash Cannon. It's another Pokemon with Stealth Rock along with Garchomp. It can take hits much better than Toxicroak. It's more resistant to typings than Toxicroak. It has 4 more resistances to be exact than Toxicroak. It has access to Iron Defense, Swords Dance, Feather Dance if it wants to either raise its own defense, put up its own physical attack, or even lower the physical attack of an opponent. And it has access to Ice moves for dragons, because dragons in this format can be a scary, scary thing. And with the ability to take out dragons in one foul swoop with an Ice move would be huge for Empoleon. Now, of course, when you're talking about taking a Pokemon off the waiver wire to replace another Pokemon, you're obviously losing something. Now, something that Toxicroak brings to the table that Empoleon doesn't are 2 things. A higher base speed stat, and access to priority in Sucker Punch. Now, Toxicroak isn't blazingly fast. He's only base 85 speed, but it does have Sucker Punch. But the thing that doesn't bother me about losing Sucker Punch on a Toxicroak is that people might be able to predict when a Sucker Punch is coming and kind of render that priority useless. Now, something that was mentioned on the post-draft analysis of the GBA D-League was that Toxicroak went immediately after the Pokemon Florges was taken. Now, whether Toxicroak was an answer to Florges, we don't know that for sure, but what we can tell you is that Empoleon can also deal with Florges just as well, if not better, than Toxicroak can. Now, yes, Toxicroak can OHKO a Florges with Gunk Shot, but Gunk Shot is also 70% accurate. And if you're thinking that Toxicroak can kill it with a Poison Jab, if it's set up properly, the Florges is most likely living that Poison Jab and probably coming back at you with a Psychic, which is going to hurt and probably take out your Toxicroak. Or you could go out to your Empoleon, pretty much resist everything a Florges can throw at you, and then hit it for pretty decent damage with a Flash Cannon. Are you going to be doing more damage with the Empoleon than you would have with the Toxicroak? No, but you are going to be safer in there for a longer amount of time with the Empoleon. Now, I realize that Toxicroak can do more than just take on fairies, but when I saw where he was drafted and I saw some of the other mons and some of the other teams, it just seemed to me like he was there as a fairy counter, and I feel like Empoleon can do that job as well, but it can also do a lot of other things that Toxicroak can't, which is why I thought that Empoleon could suitably take the place of something like Toxicroak. So now it's time to head over to Pokemon Showdown and see what we can do with Empoleon. So over here in Pokemon Showdown, we have a couple Empoleons to show you here. The first one I have is a pretty standard one, the Roar Stealth Rock Defog Scald with the leftovers and the Torrent ability. It's also got 252 in special defense, 8 in defense, and 248 in HP. So it's a real wall, this one. This one just puts up the Stealth Rocks, roars you out. If you're a physical attacker that it can burn, it might use the Scald on you. So yeah, pretty standard Empoleon set there. The next one I have for you is actually a Choice Scarf set. Yes, a Choice Scarfed Empoleon. Imagine that, a Scarfed Penguin. So this one's rocking the Scald, Ice Beam, Flash Cannon, and the Hidden Power Electric. So, you know, somebody doesn't want to... Somebody thinks, oh, I'll just switch out. They're just going Rocks Up anyways, so... They switch out. So I'll go to my water Pokemon so I can just get out to there before he sets up his Stealth Rocks, and that way I can get in for free, basically. But then you go for the Hidden Power Electric, hit it with a Hidden Power Electric, it's like, holy crap. That thing just hit me with Hidden Power Electric. I gotta get this thing out of here, so I'm gonna use this move, did some damage on it. Boom, you're faster. Now the Hidden Power Electric is just taking out the first Pokemon of the match. Not a lot of people are going to see Scarfed Empoleon coming, so that would be a cool one to run. This one I have here is running 252 in speed, 248 in special attack, and 8 in HP. I like that just to have the uneven amount of HP. So this one's going to be a fast, heavy-hitting special attacker that people just probably aren't going to see coming. And the last Empoleon I have for you, you're probably looking at this Empoleon thinking, what in the world is wrong with this dude? I'm a little crazy, I like little weird sets, and people look at me funny when I use some of these sets, but whatever. It is the Life Orb Defiant set. Steel Wing, Swords Dance, Earthquake, Scald. You could use pretty much... You can go nuts with this set. You could tech in Feather Dance somewhere. You could tech in pretty much anything you want. You could tech in Waterfall instead of Scald if you want the stab boosted physical Waterfall. That could be something. But this one I have Steel Wing for the fairy types that are prone to physical attack, the Earthquake because Earthquake hits everything that isn't flying or levitating hard, and the Scald if you want to get something burnt. So this one's pretty much a mixed attacker, really. So I'm running it with 252 in HP, 252 in attack, and 4 in special defense. This one's running a Brave Nature because we probably aren't outspeeding a lot to begin with, so I might as well just hit hard and not move that fast. That way I can hit hard on either side of the spectrum, whether it be physical or special. You can use it as a switch-in, use it as a defogger, use it as a setup mon, set up rocks, get water, ice, or steel coverage out of it. In the end, Empoleon just has 40 base points on Toxicroak, and I think those 40 base points just come in very handy in the end. But of course, that is just my opinion on how that would work. Please head down to the comments section below and tell me what you think. Do you think I'm crazy to think that we could put an Empoleon on a team that already has a water type? Do you agree with me? Maybe you have a different suggestion altogether. Who knows? Just let me know in the comments section below. Tell me how crazy I am for thinking this, or tell me maybe it's a good idea. Who knows? But until next week, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Brandon from Your Average Noob Gaming. We're here with the GBA D-League, and you have been watching the Waiver Wire Show. Bye-bye.